Okay, this is Ben Faruqi for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm here with the one and only Joe Gallagher. Joe, how are you doing today, mate?
Not too bad, mate. Thank you. Another good session.
Yeah, another session. Had Callum sparring there, had Beefy and Sam Hyde as well. Let's start with Callum. He's out next week. John Ryder, talk to me about how his camp's gone, how he's feeling and how you think the fight's going to go.
Yeah, he's very focused, very switched on. Had a good camp with good sparring partners, paid a fortune flying him in from all over the world. And no, camp's gone very well. And his focus, if you've seen him today, cut the sparring short because he was just flying. It was just a case of maintaining him now and holding him. And he's looking to do a good performance and make another statement. That's all he seems to be wanting to do. Callum make statements, and yeah, we know John Ryder is training hard. He's got to bring a big opportunity for him. They feel they've got to come and cause the upset. No, John watched him over the years. He's a good run of form. The weight division is grown into it, super middleweight. And then I've got to stand back and let Callum tippy-tappy and all that there. Any chance they've got to be, Callum Smith is going and doing something about it because he ain't got to be in arm's length. So I expect them to come, try and get into Callum early, try to get the body early and try and draw Callum into a shout out early. Yeah, whichever way they want to. I've seen say the sparring partners were ready for however he wants to, whether he wants to start slowly and then come strong down the straight, or if he wants to start fast. But we will be prepared for whatever he wants to come with.
You mentioned making statements there and how Callum's enjoying doing that at the moment. How important is it for him to make another statement here to try and get the big fights that he's looking for, and the Anfield fight in particular?
I think, I don't know, because it's weird. You've seen when he fought Hassan Nadam in Madison Square Garden, it got back to us that like Daniel Jacobs was like, don't want none of that. Triple G, don't want none of that. Canelo, don't want that. So sometimes you can be too good. You've seen at the weekend, Billy Joe Saunders not put a good performance in. He'll get a big fight.
Everyone's talking about Canelo now.
Yeah, Canelo, so he must get a big fight. So, and then big guns are mostly waiting to see Callum fight a couple more times before they have a judgment on him. So I can understand that. But Billy Joe, if everyone thinks Billy Joe's got to turn up for a fight like that, a huge fight, they're mistaken. It's hard for Billy Joe. He fought over there. I think he got his visa late against the kid that he was supposed to win. So the motivation levels and the fear factor wasn't there. But that isn't going to be the Billy Joe that I'd turn up against a Canelo or a Callum Smith or a Eubank Jr. It's people think they are. They're mistaken. They won't be. Do you know what I mean?
How often do you think? Because I think I see it quite a lot in boxing where people think, oh, Billy Joe is rubbish. But you've got to understand, like you say, he wasn't driven for that fight. He wasn't excited by it. He didn't see a threat there. Mm-hmm. So you must see it in gyms, not just your own, but with other fighters. I have it with
my own fighters where they can't get up for certain fights, and there's no fear factor there. But for Billy Joe, it was a close fight, but he pulled it out at the end, and he got a win, and he got out of jail. And sometimes that's just a little lesson. And if a huge fight has made a Triple G, Canelo or Andrade for Billy Joe next, that isn't going to be the Billy Joe that fought Saturday night. And anyone thinks it is like delusional. It's not at all. He's a good fighter, Billy Joe Saunders.
Do you think Billy Joe would prefer to push for one of those other opponents rather than Callum?
I think so, only because Canelo, height-wise, obviously the money involved, what he'd get for Canelo, the money he'd get for a Triple G, the profile from them fights, I think they're more rewarding for him to take and win than trying to put all his eggs into a basket against a Callum Smith, which is a high risk. It's a high reward, but I wouldn't say as financially as it would be by beating a Canelo or a Triple G.
For you, when you look at all the names out there, like you said, from Danny Jacobs to Canelo, Triple G, and even the likes of Kovalev at 175, for you, and I'm not looking past Ryder, for you, after that, what would be the ideal fight for Anfield?
Well, everyone's talking about Anfield, but We'd like it to happen, we'd all like it to happen, but it's no point doing Anfield. It's like doing the Manchester Arena. It's no point doing the Arena, then kerning it all off and only having 4,000 in. Yeah. We want to do Anfield and have 30, 40,000 in. We don't want Anfield and only be 8,000, 10,000 in there. So we need the right dance partner, whether Eddie Hearn and The Zone and Matchroom and Sky have got enough money to bring Canelo over, whether they've got enough money to bring Triple G over. They're the type of kids that you want for it.
Do you think?
I think you touched on him there. I think Kovalev's a good name for Anfield. I think he's got a good profile over here from his fight with Yarde. He's just fought Canelo, close fight till he got stopped. And a bit like years ago when Ben fought someone, Eubank could fight someone to see he could have beat them better and that type of thing. So because obviously if we fought Kovalev and we did him quicker and better than a Ward or a Canelo have, then that causes more pressure as well to try and make the Canelo.
It's a big talking point then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously that fight, I assume you'd be looking to make it at 175?
Whichever. Now we're going to, first and foremost, I want to talk to past John Ryder. John Ryder's a hard fight. The thing was, form guide goes out the windows when these domestic fights happen. But sometimes the champion doesn't really train like he should and the challenger does. It's very much like a Man United versus, I don't know, a low league team in an FA Cup, that type of thing. It's like an FA Cup, these domestic challenges, and John Ryder's a good run of form. He'll be coming well supported, and he'll be coming to close the upset. Callum Smith is training well, and we've got to make sure we take care of that. When we take care of that, then we can talk about Anfield as much as we want, but I think it'd be quite disrespectful to overlook John Ryder and talk about Anfield too much when we haven't got past John Ryder yet.
You mentioned Ryder's good run of form, and that came after his defeat to Rocky Fielding, who Callum blew away in one round. Do you think anybody can read into that, the fact that Callum blew past Fielding, but Fielding beat Ryder?
No, I think, like I say, you can't say he beat him, and styles fights, everything else. But it's like Jack Arnfield. Jack Arnfield beat John Ryder as well. So it's like, well, Callum should, but John Ryder then has, like you say, rebuilt his career, come back, and I've had Anthony Croller all his career that suffered setbacks, and we still came again. So you've always got to be aware, and like I say, he's moved up a weight division, and he's had a good run of form, beat Nielsen, beat Canelo's sparring partner out in America last time out, and yeah, he's got a huge opportunity. He's got nothing to lose. I'm sure him, his mates, everyone will be putting loads of money at the bookies, and we've just got to make sure that we've paid him full respect, attention to detail, and been meticulous in our preparation, and we have been. And you've seen Callum Smith today, you'd think he was going to fight Canelo a week on Saturday.
How do you prepare for someone like Ryder who's getting this shot and they know they've got to take it, you know, grab it with both hands because it might be the only shot that they get at something like this in their careers?
Well, I think the thing with Callum, he's always treated each fight as always a huge fight. He has that mentality, he has that professionalism about him, that he absolutely is very detailed in his preparation. He's no stone unturned. He has the fear factor, and I suppose that's what's made him the number one in the world. But you won't get Callum taking any opponent lightly whatsoever. You've seen that with Hassan Nadam, who was coming off a good win over Martin Murray, and Callum there again was just on the money, shot selection, a lot.
When we did our interview with Callum last week, a few people were commenting that they think Callum's a weight bully and that he's keeping himself at this weight because he's obviously bigger at the weight. Do you think that? Is he comfortable at 168?
I don't know if you've seen his weight today, but we had the check weight the other day here, and on the Callum Smith and John Ryder. Callum Smith was lighter than John Ryder on the check weighs, and it's just the kid he can make the weight, he can do the weight. The only talk about 175 is to get the big fights, because we can't get a Benavidez, a Plant, a Eubank, because they're all with Al Heyman, who was with Fox, and they won't work with Eddie Hearn, Matchroom or The Zone. So we can't, as much as we want them, we can't get them. So move up to 175, and there's more fights at that division to fight for that can be done. So that's the reason why we're talking 175, but 168, there's no problem. I wouldn't say he's a weight buller. I think that's a bit unfair. I think there's a lot of big fighters for the weight division. Look at Lawrence Okoli, he's a big cruiserweight. And even down the lower division, years ago, Tommy Earns was huge for a weight against Ray Leonard at welterweight, and you see him fight a cruiserweight. So I think that's a bit unfair. He's just, you can't help it. What do you want me to do? Go and
change his physique.
Change his physique, chop his legs down a little bit. But no, that's it. He's good, he's strong, he's long range. He can fight well short range, and he's got explosive power in either hands.
Moving away from Callum, let's talk about what's going on with the rest of the team. Liam Smith out in Phoenix. Arizona.
Yeah, I think there should be confirmation soon of that. There's talk of him fighting in America. We should know by the end of the week. So he's in the gym training, looking forward to that. And I'll be pleased for him because he's beginning to get a bit of momentum. Obviously, he fought in, I think it was March, April earlier this year with Sam Eggington. Then he fought in August in Mexico. And then to get him out again before Christmas will be ideal. That'll be the busiest Liam's been for a while, 3 fights in a year.
Are you hoping this will push him onto world title contention?
Yeah, 100%. I think Mungai is due to announce his fight in January, but there's rumours that he may vacate. But no, listen, it'd be good for Liam to get another fight in December. I just said to him in the change room, fight in December and I want you out again in March. Have a bit of Christmas, New Year, I want you out March, back end of March, early April. And then whatever huge world title fight there is then for your May, June, July shows. I'd want that for Liam. I don't want him to go away. I want him in again March and keep that run of form going and that activity instead of being, I think when he fought Canelo, I think it was like August or September 2016, 15, something like that. Then he didn't fight till like the April next year, Liam Williams. Then he didn't fight till the November rematch, Liam Williams. Then he didn't fight till the next year, Mungai in July, and then that was it. Then it's just like I think there's one other fight in there, but it's not good enough for him. So he's done March now, and then he's done August, and get him out again, and then thinking, and then we'll get the best Liam Smith. Do you know what I mean? Who's been fight fit, more regular, fight fit, and ready to make a serious challenge on a world title. And activity is key for Liam.
Fantastic. Tasha Jonas is out on Friday.
Yeah, Tasha's out on Friday, MTK show. She's at a press conference over there in Liverpool today. She's been looking well at training, sparring. She had some good sparring. She did some punditry work, watching Katie Taylor on the Crawler Bill and Terry Harper. She's having this fight, and I think the plan is then for Tasha to maybe have one more, but then go for a big title fight. So I'll have to speak to her and MTK about what's next for her. But the thing is getting her out and keeping her relevant. And she's been on a decent run of form now since her loss, and she performed well last time out. And we want the same again from this Friday as well. Any
chance that one more before a title fight could be the rematch with Vivian Obanov?
Yeah, we're open for that, Vivian Obanov. Yeah, that'd be a good fight. Obviously Tasha, she's lightweight now. That was at super featherweight, but yeah, no, that'd be a doable fight. Yeah, definitely.
Sam Hyde, there's been purse bids for Sam Hyde today. Talk to me about Sam Hyde's fight and what title he's fighting for.
Yeah, no, Sam, it's a British title final eliminator against Dion Juma, and also for the English title, Dion's the champion. So purse bids are today, so we'll see what happens later on and where the fight will take place. But it's a huge fight. Usually disappointed we didn't get the Riakpo rematch. A year ago he fought, we were promised a rematch, never got it, and no matter how much we asked Dylan White, Eddie Hearn, that fight never materialised, so we'll just have to do it this way now, fight Dion Juma, beat him and try and become the mandatory. But I think Riakpo has got a tough fight with Jack Massey. Jack Massey's a very live threat, and I'm surprised if he pulled off the upset. But it's a good fight, and the cruiserweight division now is getting into a bubble. Do you know what I mean? So and you've got Glover fighting Chris Billum-Smith as well, which is a good fight. So
what do you make of that fight? Who do you see?
I think that's a very good fight. I like Chris Billum-Smith. I like Craig Glover as well. I think they're both good kids, both can punch, both technically sound. Yeah, that's a 50-50 fight. That's very hard to pick him. Craig Glover's had his couple of setbacks, come back. Billum-Smith was unlucky last time out. and he'll be wanting to come back and make a statement as well. So no, that's a good fight. That.
Jose Burton going into the MTK Golden Contract Tournament for light heavyweights. Who do you see as the most credible threat or the dark horse even of that?
I think Bob Adjazaf, even though he's not been around for a while, he's good at what he does. He's switches, awkward, strong, man strength, and he's back. Back whether for the contract to get in the big time again or just come back for money, I don't know, but you've got to take the threat of him very serious. Obviously Ward,
Conroy, I think.
Yeah, that's right, Liam Conroy. He'll want to come back as well. Yeah, so it's got to be a good tournament.
What would it mean to Jose to win that?
It'd be good. Alfie's very confident. He's very bullish. We have to keep reminding him that these fighters, as good as you are, Alfie, 24-1, and really, Alfie shouldn't really be in this. Should have fought Yardy for a title eliminator a couple of years ago. We should have fought the Boatsies, and Alfie with 24-1 should be fighting for European titles, world titles, but he's going in this. People see Alfie as a scalp, and he's got to make sure that he doesn't become one. He's training very well. He's in great form, great shape. Conditioning's unbelievable. Mental, up there mentally, he's in a very good place. And we're going through the tough part of camp conditioning that now, and we're going into the next 4 or 5 weeks of good sparring now. And no, he'll be ready. Find out for a coach, for a fan, I think it's great. You don't know who you fight or anything, but for a coach, I think it's a nightmare. When you look at the opposition that's in it, you've got someone as diverse as Bob Adjazaf preparing for him, and then you're preparing for someone like Conroy and then Ward and all the others that are in there. It's on a prize fighter over 3 rounds, but when you're at the level and fought at the level that Alfie's at, preparing, you need to be meticulous in your preparation. So that's been very hard doing. But obviously with Crawler just fought, John Tasha and Callum Smith fighting next week, clears the workload down then to absolutely get Alfie's preparation bang on sparring, and hopefully it'll be interesting to see who picks who in the draw. Me, I think no one will pick Alfie and no one will pick Bob Adjazaf.
Yeah.
I think like a football team being picked,
would that be
them
the worst?
should be left at the end.
Would it be that would be the worst start for the tournament for you, getting Bob Adjazaf?
No, I don't think it will. I think for the tournament point of view, I think that's a great one. I think for Alfie to get Bob Adjazaf first, I think it'd be great for Alfie, because Alfie will think, right, we've got the hardest one first.
Yeah.
That's Alfie's mentality. I think if Alfie's a picker, I think he'll pick Bob. That's Alfie's mentality. Do you understand? It's like, I made a fight and I'll fight, so beat him, and then everyone else, it's like, I think everyone else will be... The one thing about Jose Burton, he can whack. Yeah. And everyone in this gym, whack, everyone's coming to sparring, so he can whack. Like Cruisers up here, he's knocked plenty of people out, and for a tall, slim kid, I think people think because he's an activity and everything else is there for the taking, but he's not, and he's got to show that in this tournament.
Also Paul Butler.
Yeah.
I know there was talk of Ubali, who fought on the Inoue card, a WBC champion, but what are your plans for Paul going forward? Well,
Paul now is European #1. I think the European title is being fought for this weekend, and we're just waiting to see what happens with Inoue in that IBF belt. Yeah. Paul's ranked, I think it's #2 in the IBF at the moment. So if that vacates, hopefully Paul will get a world title shot. Obviously it's the WBC one, but I think Inoue's not going after him now, isn't it, for beating up his brother. So yeah, so keep it in the family. So we're all dependent on what happens with them belts once they become vacant and fragmented. I was hoping to try and get Paul on the Liverpool show next week, but for whatever reason with Matchroom and Sky, the show's too full at the moment, which is a shame really, because it'd be good to get Paul Butler out, give him a little run out. Yeah. He fought on my show in September. But yeah, we're just waiting on that. I'm going to still try and get him a run out before Christmas.
Fantastic. Finally, Anthony Crawler, there was a number of people who thought he lost the fight against Frank. Matthew Macklin even scored it for the opponent. Tell me what your opinion is on that, on the scorecard.
I thought Anthony Crawler won, and listen, everyone has their opinion. Some say he won, some say he lost, some say he draw. But just because, as you said there, Matthew Macklin thought he won doesn't mean that he does. Do you understand? We've seen it's open to everyone's interpretation. I had Crawler down, 3-1 down after 4. And then after 9, I think I had Crawler 5-4 up. And I said to him in the corner, win this round and you've got it. You can't lose this round or we're very tight. And he went out and won it. And that's how I seen it. I thought Crawler won like 6 rounds to 4 or 6-3, 1 even, something like that. So, yeah, I thought Crawler won it. I think Frank had some good work early on. And then the shots that he was throwing late on in the fight or mid-fight, they weren't hitting the target, they were hitting gloves, and they were missing. Crawler was spinning, moving off, and Crawler was winning the rounds with his jab and landing good shots. And yeah, but like I say, it's there isn't many in the UK that can pull that crowd in for a farewell fight. And Anthony Crawler went out with a win and in a competitive fight. And we said beforehand the kid was no mug. He had challenged for the European title against Teta, and he did Teta and lost out on a couple of points. So it was a huge opportunity for him. So that was it. And Anthony now he can go off into the sunset and do his bit of coaching and punditry work and all that. So
was it important for Anthony to have a tough fight at the head, just
well,
to set it in his mind that I'm not coming back?
Yeah, I think I was worried that he'd look too good and winning 3 or 4 rounds. And then I'd have it on Sunday morning offering money for Crawler to fight this one, that one. Originally, I didn't want Annie to have a fight. Then I said, all right, if you have a comeback, we'll do it on an undercard somewhere like Manchester, but you'll be in a 4-rounder or a 6-rounder. And Crawler knows, nah, I'm not, I'm having a fight. Crawler's no need to fight, it's a farewell fight. No, Joe, I can't do that. I'm selling tickets, can't do that. I want a fight. So I said, all right, we'll do a 10-rounder. And we did a 10-rounder and there was a fight. And yeah, like you say, it's squeaky bum time at times, but no, if you listen to 5 Live, Costello and Bunce, they had Crawler winning it quite easy, so it's open to interpretation, but at the end of the day, that's the judge's job, and they chose Crawler as the winner.
Fantastic. What about yourself and M22 Promotions? Any new fights coming up for yourself?
No, we're just waiting to see what happens this week, and then most probably we'll do a show beginning of 2020, most probably back end of January. Yeah, we've got to do a show there, have the new kids on the block out again, and then maybe 1 or 2 headline acts on it as well. So yeah, that's what I do. Looking forward to that next year. So yeah.
Fantastic. It's been a pleasure speaking to you as always, Joe. Hopefully catch you again soon, my friend.
Cheers, thank you.